Welcome. This is Barry Jones from the Angel School, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for January the 25th through the 31st, 2021. So before we begin, I'd just like to make you aware of just some things that are going on in the channel before we get started. So last week I posted the year an angel reading for the year. So I pulled 13 cards. One card, actually 14. One is for the year of the tarot card, and the other one's for the general reading or theme for us for this year. And then there are the 12 months. So if you haven't checked that out, it's already posted on my channel since Monday. And I will be working on the monthly angel scope for February. So the 12 zodiac signs, that reading will be coming up soon in the next couple of weeks. And let's see, of course, the daily card messages will continue this week. So if you haven't checked that out, you can go look that up on my Facebook page. There's a link below, I think maybe Twitter, and also here on the community post of YouTube. You can find the written daily card messages. And finally, my angel reading for a half-hour reading for $77 is still being offered as a special offer for 1 full hour. So if you haven't checked that out yet, you can go to my website, theangelschool.com. There's a link below, and you would click on the half-hour reading as is, and then once you submit it, I will send you a confirmation email within 24 hours on the first business day of the week. And with that will come instructions in the email about to submit your availability to set up your appointment. So the thing on my website doesn't work, so don't attempt it. So and this is unrestricted in terms of the number of times you could have the opportunity to use this offer. All right, so welcome again to everyone, our new subscribers, to everyone who's been with us throughout the years. And if you haven't subscribed yet and you're watching for the very first time, don't forget to click the notification bell and all notifications so that you're aware of any content that's uploaded on the channel. Okay, so let's take a deep breath together now. And the angels are really, what they were showing me at first, and then kind of repeating it again, is they were showing me sort of a field goal, which is my symbol for that you have a lot of goals that you're setting, and you might be renewing certain goals or ambitions, and you're really motivated to, in some ways maybe there's some pressure there to get going and to get things going very quickly. You're feeling that you need to just sort of get things really popping, and you want to be aware of the most important factor is not so much about you lighting a fire underneath your behind, but it's more about trust. That's what they're saying is really, really important. So that when you set goals, that you set them free with your trust. First, your trust in faith, in God, in the universe, in yourself, really, really important. And in the things that you wish to accomplish. Trust that there will be doors and paths that will open in front of you, that opportunities will be available when you're ready. And so that goes back to trusting yourself. Because if you don't trust yourself, you'll never feel ready. You'll never send that signal to the universe that says, I'm ready. And so that when you're saying you're ready, you're really saying, I'm available for what's next. I'm available for whatever is around me. I'm ready to see it, see with clarity what are the resources already in place for me that I can tap right into, so that I'm not always waiting, but I am ready and prepared to dig in there. I'm no longer willing to be blind or ignorant of everything that is around me. I'm no longer playing the victim, but I am seeing, and I am encouraged by this. And I'm not afraid of the responsibilities. I'm not afraid of the success. And I'm not looking to blame anyone or to allow anyone else to be responsible in my life. And this is very powerful because all of that is about putting so much emphasis on the outer circumstances instead of really going within to the inner resources and really preparing the inner plane of your soul, preparing those circumstances to be primed for receptivity, objectivity, and awareness, and an eagerness for being fully engaged in the present moment and all the rewards that are right there. They're right there. They may not be, I think of this so many times because I'm what you call a mannequin shopper. And in the most general sense of what that means. That means is if you put it together for me, now I see clearly what I need. I struggle very much with walking into the store where there are all these great bargains, right? But they don't organize it for you so you can see what would look well together. It's a talent that I really wish I had, and I probably say it so much that I just make it really impossible for me to see what's right there in front of me. And it's that kind of idea where a lot of us are kind of mannequin shoppers in the sense that we do this with the universe. And we are waiting for the universe to arrange the idea for us so that we can actually see it. Like, now I know what my purpose is because I kind of see a model of it in front of me. Now I know what my next opportunity or move is because I sort of see a model of it in front of me. And that's that blind spot that we're talking about. That's that same idea when I walk into those kinds of stores where they don't do that for you. And they really create a setting where you have to rely on your own intuition about what it is that suits you instead of telling you what suits you. And it's only in this moment that I'm getting that. And I'm telling you right now, my heart is crying because I don't want to. Just don't want to. And isn't that kind of like where most of us are, and we don't even realize it sometimes? Like, I don't want to think about this. Show me, Lord, show me. I don't want to figure it out. And so in that way, it's almost as if what I'm trying to propose to you is that because of that kind of prayer template, you do not see how much is already prepared for you. I go to prepare a place for you, and I think in the 23rd Psalm, thou prepares a table before me, all right, in the presence of my enemy, meaning that the universe is already there. When you realize what you want, the universe has already set the table and waiting for you to join the celebration, to join the banquet. And it's like walking into a surprise party that's been organized for you, but yet you don't hear everybody screaming, surprise! You don't see the party, you don't see all the gifts because you are not looking for it. You're on another bandwidth of waiting for it. You're waiting for them to put it all together, to put a model of what you should do next together for you. Instead of trusting your intuition, instead of trusting, and I just saw the word integration, trusting the integration of all the components. And somehow I get a sense that they're saying that this integration of the components is within you. It's within the resources of your spirit. It's in the resources of your spirit. Wow, that sounds really amazing, right? When you really understand what that means, that the integration of what you seek is in, I can't remember what I just said, but it's within your spirit. The resources are within your spirit. So the code, the template, the sparks, the tinglies, all of that, it's in there. And all of that, it's almost like it's a magnetic field or some kind of, that kind of like magnetic field. It's like meaning that it's just drawing you towards it. The sparks are going off and it's leading you. The sparks are leading you, but you got to trust. You got to have faith in yourself. You have to have faith in the universe and in faith in what the goal that you've set. So that means that you don't give up. You don't say to yourself, and I mean by giving up, you don't doubt your goal. That's the first way they want you to understand that you give up, when you start to doubt your goals. So that's the way they want you to trust your goals, is to not doubt it. And the way to not doubt it is to listen to that within yourself. Trust that those elements exist within you. It's already integrated within you, so that when you are looking outside of yourself at the things that are around you, so wherever you are, this is why this is also important. Wherever you are is where you need to be. And it's so hard because we want to like where we are. We always want to like where we are. But what we're always doing is comparing and contrasting where we are, which means we're criticizing where we are. I like this, I don't like this, and that's a part of that is necessary. But what it ends up doing is becoming a mood, an attitude, towards the whole thing, the entirety of the whole thing. And in doing so, we kind of lump the whole experience into a negative or positive. And that's one of those things that gets in our way, because there's always a negative and a positive in every circumstance, every position where you're placed. And that's something we just need to accept, as we need to accept that the contrast is, that variety is what allows us to make decisions, to have choices, in order that we can sift out our path and our opportunities So if we accept in general that we are where we need to be, then we can sift, and in doing so, focus on what you can make work for you. Because that's the beginning of transforming your mindset, your attitude, your reality into one that is always filled with possibilities. And those possibilities turn into opportunities. And this is the profound way to start exercising faith and tapping into that idea that the integration of these resources, these elements that we're seeking, that the understanding of them is always within us. And therefore, we can really, truly trust our intuition to sift them out, to seek them out. So let's get off of the waiting, which is saying I'm looking for that model to represent what my next move is, and to start trusting. Yeah, I mean, I'm serious. It's like I wanted to cry. It's like, I mean, it's like that kind of cry in the chest when you're a child, and like, I don't know, it's like a tantrum. Like, I want you to do it, kind of thing. You know, I can't even get into that, but I can feel it. I guess I'm embarrassed to say it out loud, to try to even portray it, because it really, as much as I am strongly like in my heart going, when I go somewhere, because I feel like I really cannot make those kind of decisions for myself. And, you know, because of it, there are certain things in terms of design and attire that, I mean, I do know how, but it's always been mannequin. But there are people I admire that just put things together, like, and you just can't get that from a mannequin. That's why it looks so unique, right, to them. And so I'm sure artist types don't have this problem. I mean, I'm a musician, but just not that kind of artist. So, but I feel like it's that stubbornness and within us when it comes to, you know, our goals and our dreams. And, you know, we want things. I kept writing when I was meditating, like with you at the beginning, fast. Like, we just want things to happen very quickly. And we don't want to waste time. That's how we are now. We look at people who work in service, and we get this sort of attitude that that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to think for you. They're supposed to take off of our shoulders the ability to think, to be, you know, like as if these little details are too petty and beneath us. But in this kind of attitude, we are usurping an important part of our soul's functioning or mechanism, that is that part of the manifestation, that process that we need to cultivate. And so we have to stop being stubborn in this way, in this attitude or this position, so that we can really start trusting ourselves. So the dependency, it's interesting, I don't know why they're going here, but, you know, we have in this society, we've had it for, you know, thousands of years, is everybody's looking to get to a certain status of money, and then they can have people who do things for them, and that makes them feel powerful. And all of that, what they're saying, and we do it on, you know, it doesn't even matter what your financial, but we all do it in some way. We're always looking to put somebody else in a position beneath us, right? And so what this is a practice of not having the kind of trust in God, in yourself, and in your dreams and desires. So think about that, talking about equality and all these kinds of things, and we wonder where the examples of injustice and equality start. And this is why I've always said that we all reflect the things that the ugliness that we don't like. Pieces of it exist within all of us, and this is a perfect example. On that lower, sort of under the radar level, we think, oh, we don't even think anything about it, but those are the seeds. Those are the seeds that turn into what we don't like, collectively. So, and in a compassionate way, you can see how this correcting something like that allows you to it enhances your spiritual practice by no longer doing or thinking in that way. So when I go into the store, I'm gonna have to stop it, looking for those mannequin, because it's sort of devaluing my own. And I think that's what the pain is, that I can feel every time I say that out loud, and I often say, and it's something I have to stop saying, but it's devaluing my soul's creativity, the ability of the universe. The universe enables us. The power of the universe enables us. And every time we put ourselves in a position like that, which I described, we are disabling our gifts and the manifestation mechanism, the laws of attraction. We're disabling. So that's why we will feel stuck. Okay, so let's take a look at the Archangel Oracle message. Interesting. So this is the Archangel Azrael. And, it's so strange because I had a dream last night about one of my relatives, my aunt, my grandmother's sister who passed. And in the dream, just talking about making wishes, I have been out to like Jackson Heights, Queens, and it's so much more peaceful. It's almost like it's still city, but it's more like neighborhoods out there, and it's so much more. And I said in the dream, boy, if I ever had the money, I would. And then my aunt looked at me, and with this strange look, as if, ooh, I felt like she could say, I could make that happen, as she looked at one of her kids. But it's a sense that, when I saw this card, it was almost like there's this message from our loved ones about the wishes and things that we have right now. We may be talking to them and, saying, oh, I wish, this could be possible. And the feeling I'm getting, just because it just happened last night, and there's this odd thing that this card comes up, hello from heaven, that pay attention to signs that you and thoughts that you might be feeling your loved ones around, and you might be really talking to them, especially because of some of the things that have been going on in your life, and some of the wishes and plans that you had, and that you had this this desire to fulfill certain things, and maybe you're feeling some regrets, and maybe there's some things with them that you wanted to do. Just know that they are supporting you, that you might feel like you're having this conversation with them, and really connecting in with them and getting their support. That is real, that they are, as I'm saying the word, they're bringing you messages to help boost your faith and your confidence, that they're, trying to talk to you, to give you those pep talks energetically, and that they're writing that they're sending you energy because they're writing the paradigm. They're indicating that a whole new paradigm is upon us, and you have this opportunity to really utilize this fresh energy. And they're writing that you've got to come up with. I'm saying the word strategy. So they're writing for you to come up with a plan. Maybe you've just been, doing that wish talk thing instead of taking responsibility. They wrote responsible instead of taking responsibility and creating a strategy. They wrote the word healthy, like as if to say that, you gotta, if you want your reality to be healthier, you've got to start taking action, taking responsibility by coming up with a plan. And you don't have to, come up with you don't have, focus on what you can do today. This is actually something that happened with my mom, who has passed along, and this happened just a few days ago, when I was really thinking about, like all of you, like where am I going? Like where where am I going to be going here? Like where is all this going? And the idea was, to really think about, focus on what I want to accomplish into today, not for tomorrow, but for today. Get into the habit of just focusing on what do you want to accomplish today? You have choices. So this is like disconnected from that big goal. And today, like, what are the things? And, write them down. Have it, come up with a plan and work on them. But work on the things that you're really passionate about, the things that you really care about, the things that fulfill you, or just make you happy in that moment, give you a sense of contentment in that moment, or a sense of accomplishment in that moment. And what she was saying to me is that as you do that, and you get that practice going, eventually all of that will point you in a direction. So sometimes when you feel overwhelmed by the bigger question, come back to the simple questions of the day. Get good practice in following through and finding fulfillment in today. And that will lead to that. So there's that whole idea about wanting to move too fast, and that, going back to the, setting the intentions for the month and really wanting things to happen. And, and then finding yourself running out of gas because you kind of are not being present with where you are and what you're doing right now. Okay, very interesting message. All right, so let's not freak out about the cards. Okay, so we've had this card come up twice in the daily card messages last week, and I don't know if I just wrote one again for this upcoming week, but so this is the universe card, and what I was drawn to, and you probably can't see it here, but this is some kind of lattice or some kind of it looks like a wheel that's been activated, like some technology, and there's this feeling of activation. And the message that was coming through this just recently, I wrote it just a few days ago, is that that now, so this is a card about being at the end of one's journey or completing a journey. What I like about this card is, it's like he's stepping through, the shimmering one is stepping through the veil. And, he's in that between the universe and our world paradigm. And there's this sense that we all, that we're individually, we look at this card and we think about individually we're moving forward and we're beginning a new cycle and we're ending an old one. But what they want you to know, and the one that we've been really talking about a lot in the recent weeks, is this idea of service, moving from personal interest to service. This is the thing that's getting the world stuck. This is the thing. This is the crux of the ego's paradigm, is self-interest. This has been guiding the world of humanity for ages, And where we are now is that many of us have been, so we're so near, many of us have been activated because of the events of the previous and most recent years. All of that has been going on, that has occurred, has been helping to light each and every one of us up, to awaken us, to activate our awareness and our soul, collective soul contracts. So this is about all of us moving forward, all of us ending a cycle and moving forward together. So it's not something that's going to be done alone. So I feel like we're there, we're close, and the universe wants us to know that, but they also want you to understand that, and it's not going to happen until all of us, there's a critical mass that will be activated, and to be active or activists for the light, for truth, for integrity, for the network of oneness. So the network of oneness is being activated. And so we all, as we focus on that service piece, that means we're focusing on helping the greater good, helping the world, improving our world. As we focus on this, you will find your purpose. You will find more strength, more clarity, more determination. Just think about it. When you are focused on your self-interest, you end up really becoming more anxious, more worried, and fixated. You automatically become stuck in a cycle. And you find yourself just repeating things coming back over and over again, because we are not separate. This illusion that the ego projects is the largest lie ever told. And therefore, our interdependency and connection is real. So unless we really, from this three-dimensional framework, mind, start purposefully seeking to heal, serve on that mass level, then we will all keep repeating. So keep searching your soul and your heart. And I know it's because I feel mine pressing upon me to even do more than what I do in this regard. So there is more. There's more to say. There's more to open our hearts to. There are greater needs out there that need our skills, our talents, our knowledge, and our passion and our devotion. And this is when we'll really reach the end of that cycle. But so many have lit up. And so that's the one point that the card is making, that we're here now. We're at that stage. And so we have to stop waiting for the role model, or waiting for that model, that mannequin model, before we trust ourselves to know what to do. All right, so this is the 8 of Pentacles, and it totally makes sense. And so, I've been talking a lot through this reading so far about highlighting some of those points about our spiritual practice, in terms of trust and how we can really, and to look at those ways that we hold ourselves back, and maybe our practice is disabling our abilities and our gifts and our powers of manifestation. So, this is in one regard, this is, you're seeing somebody really sitting on a path, which is very interesting. They're sitting on a path and doing the work. Now, maybe they don't really know that they're sitting on that path, or that there's some symbolic connection between doing what you love and then the path opening up for you. So he or she is sitting there painting and doing what they love, and we don't know if this path just opens up. We can see a path here, but then it looks a little fuzzy back here. So, the path could be just opening up. And, I like this idea back here. It gives me a sense that sometimes you can't see the forest for the trees. And that's because you keep trying to look. You keep asking yourself or waiting for something instead of doing. And then that's when you get that perspective. You have to be present with something, be doing it to really engage yourself with it, to figure out how much you really do love it, and how much of what your skills and talents, how much more do they expand as you're there. And then you get this sense of, or have this aha moment, right? So, this also just gives me a sense that we have work to do. Still, we have to keep working at this. We have to keep mastering these spiritual goals. All right, and here we have the warrior of fire, which would be the knight. And so, the knight of wands, or the warrior of fire here, you can see is this, well, we think of them as this one who just jumps in, who's impulsive, who doesn't think about the consequences, someone who's restless, and that they just jump in, and when they see the need, and they don't think about the consequences of the risk to themselves. They see a purpose. They have a passion that they want to fulfill. And so we might want to look at this card and, both sides of this. Where are we being a little foolish, and where are we not letting ourselves go enough? Where, are you being guarded, too guarded? And how could you explore this? Now, this restlessness that you might be feeling, are you ignoring that? Are you ignoring something, some changes that you need to make? Are you afraid of jumping in there and taking risks? So, I don't see myself too much of this card. So I would have to say to myself, okay, am I, taking, am I playing it safe? Where am I playing it safe too often? Where do I play it safe? And not to beat up on myself, for that. Okay, knocking things over. But to find a way to be compassionate and understanding with myself. Sorry, just need some water. So that I can, in this awareness, make the best of it, the situation. So we often beat up on ourselves, and then we don't get where we're trying to go, because we get stuck in this cycle. So pay attention to one of the things I feel like too is that as you focus on this idea of service and you really start working at it, that you're going to start to light up. You're going to start to really get lots of impulses you can see this volcano erupting behind him. And I was going to say that this card although his attitude is probably different from the Fool, but I would say that this card reminds me of this particular night, reminds me of the Fool more than maybe other cards. That's my sort of feeling personally. So he's got a wand here, and he's got this fire in his hands, and it's like he's reached into that part of the earth. When he saw something popping up, he reached in, and now he's holding his hand, and it's representing the anointment of his own desire and giving it permission. Archangel Michael is coming through here, and so if you need to feel like you lack the confidence to give yourself permission to pursue your passions, call upon Archangel Michael to clear the noise in your head, and to also clear the noise in your head, to clear those feelings of failure and fear, and to boost your confidence, and to highlight your purpose and the opportunities, the possibilities rather, for you to fulfill that purpose. Okay. And I don't know, I feel like I'm seeing Archangel Michael sort of like a tree. So like maybe you want to connect with the angels and get out next to a tree, and Archangel Michael can help you there. Now this card I pulled from the bottom of the deck, and this is a card that I think came up last week as well. And we don't have a lot of time, but if you go ahead and read it, and it was another reason why I kind of told you about my dream, because when I pulled this card and I didn't realize it was going to be there, I had just watched a television show, and the cliffhanger, the woman's in there cooking in this mobile kitchen, and she's talking to this guru over the phone. She's doing a meditation with him, and she because she seems like, from what I can infer, is that she has anxieties, with her talents. And so, all of a sudden in the background, you could see a flame. And I thought, oh my God, like her stove is, something on the back burner is on fire now, and she's not even paying attention. Well, what it was, what you thought was the small matter, was actually a bigger matter. It was a wave of lava coming towards, encroaching upon her mobile kitchen, and she didn't even realize. And the last thing you hear is this scream. Now, of course, it's a cliffhanger. We got to watch for the next episode. And then I pulled this card, it was like 5 minutes later. And there's a whole big difference here, where this is the 9 of Wands, 9 of Fire. And where you see this person surrounded by, these raging flames, this silhouette. And this reminds me of as if this figure is the projection of the self as it goes within to this very passionate heart, soul that's launching all kinds of ideas and desires. And he's facing that, he's looking at that, and most times we're running away from that. We're afraid, where he's fearless, this knight, a warrior of fire. We are afraid of our success, the responsibilities. We're afraid of the changes that this will summon towards us. And it's about what that piece before. This card usually shows somebody who's guarded, guarding something, and, taking that last stand, and they're determined no matter what. And so there's that energy of that determination here. But also there is this sense of, it takes a great deal of courage to really confront yourself, to be present, to confront your desires, and to take action on them, and not to give up on them through doubt, right? So I would use this, and you want to pause this and use this as a meditation, and then go in and see what is popping up for you inside. And the 9 is a number of nearing completion. And so think about what projects and things that you have that's on the back burner, or that might be on the fires right now, that you might find that there's a whole bunch of them in there. You got fires lit up that you haven't taken over the finish line. And I would encourage you to go back and consider this universal idea of service, and to apply this self-interest, which means you're worried about failing, you're worried about the risk, you're worried about what other people are going to say about you, and then instead turn it around and focus on how this idea that you came up with, how this will enhance lives, how this will heal lives, how this might help our economy or our world, in terms of all of the divisions and racism and all kinds of things. How might your goal, your dream, your desire that's just sitting there, how might it help? How might it make the difference? And then don't think about yourself or in any other respect to yourself, and keep sitting there, taking your time, working on that, and be willing to take the risk, because you're doing it. It's easier for us to help others. Have you noticed that? And then we beat up on ourselves about it, and we go, well, I can't help myself. Like, I know that. I can help you way better than I can ever help myself. And probably many of you have succeeded beyond whatever I've been able to do for myself. But that's not the point. The point is for me to do what I am called to do. And if it's easier for me to do that, then do that, right? So don't worry about that, and don't let the self-interest piece hold you back from bringing yourself to that place as well. So think about this in relationship to this card. So I'm going to stop there. And again, I appreciate everyone who stays to the end and has stayed with me over these years, because I know these videos are long and they probably turn off a lot of people. But I know that this is what needs to be done. So I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and wish you a beautiful rest of the month and this week. God bless you.